Today on Business Talk, we're going to talk about diving. Now, scuba diving in Indonesia is no longer just a leisure activity. It is a booming industry with significant economic potential. From underwater tourism to conservation-driven enterprises, the sector is evolving rapidly, attracting both adventure seekers and eco-conscious travelers. And Naida Wanderland is one of the businesses that has successfully navigated the sector, redefining dive tourism with curated world-class trips. With more than 650 divers, over 20 destinations, and 100% local partnerships, Naida Wanderland not only fuels the industry growth, but also promotes sustainability and community engagement. As global interest in experimental and ecotourism continues to rise, is Indonesian diving industry poised for even a greater expansion? Now, join us, Naida Wanderland founder Hanna Al Zahra in the studio, and let's see how the big is the business is growing. So, Hanna, thank you so much for joining us here on C today. So, what inspired you to start Naida Wanderland, and what makes diving a promising business?
Well, what makes me started this business, like, first of all, I love diving. I love Indonesia. It's like, you know, we're living in a country that ocean is bigger than the land. Well, and I have a big passion in diving. So I'm starting this diving, not industry, but the activities, first is as a hobby.
Okay.
And then I meet friends, and then some of them, they are operating the diving business, and they invite me to join in that environment. And I know that in diving, the business itself is very appealing because some countries, they growing and they're living with the tourism industry.
Okay.
And that's what I'm thinking about. Like Indonesia, they have very beautiful, and we are always like the top 3 diving destinations in the world.
Okay.
So if you meet divers from Europe, from America, and talking about diving, like, I do believe that they know Indonesia. So yeah, creating something in tourism, especially in diving, for me, like, Indonesia is heaven for diving, why not?
Now, you mentioned we're ranked number 3. What's the first 2 then?
The first 2, Indonesia. First Indonesia, second Indonesia. Yeah, we know people talking about Galapagos and then Japan. Well, it's huge things. People can see macros life, corals, pelagic, special creatures. Like sometimes it depends on what location. Like for example, Raja Ampat, Labuan Bajo is always like number 1 for the biodiversity. The creatures under the water.
Oh, well, you saying that it doesn't mean they are better or in any way. It just there are more people influx coming to those countries and stuff like that. Now, so how you mentioned you started as a recreational divers.
Yeah.
So when did it started, and how you come about to Naida, and when that Naida started as a business?
As a business, so the first time I started diving back then, 2007, like long time ago. But at that time, it's just a curiosity. Like this is the very first time I was diving, and then 2015, that the first time I start handling the business of diving, bringing people dive group. So bringing them to Banda Neira, Maratua, and Labuan Bajo. So I learned from my senior. His name is Opa Agu. He taught me about handling the trip, how to handle the people, how to creating the full package. So at that time, I'm still advanced and rescue diver. So to have the business, you need to have a certain level for that.
Oh, okay, interesting.
So for diving itself, if you are a participant or a guest, you must license.
No, okay.
At least open water.
That's for guests.
That's for guests.
Okay.
And also for you as a business agency or operator, you need to have that license.
Oh, okay.
And by 2023, I took a dive master course in Waileno Dive Center. I learned about how to manage the trip, how to handle that, besides the practical things, but in terms of the legal way in the license for that. And Naida established 2023.
So quite recent then for Naida itself.
For-
But like
yes.
for diving, you've been doing it for quite a while.
Yeah.
So for Naida itself, so what's your target consumers and then how you prioritize? And then are there a lot of Indonesian divers who actually enjoy, or are there any Indonesian tourists that enjoy diving?
Yes.
And how does that compare with people from coming in from outside the country?
Well, if I say big is relative in terms of in all industry. I would say this is a niche market, but this niche market also there's a big people there.
Okay.
And in terms of my target market, I want to targeting people from outside Indonesia. The reason is because I want to promote Indonesia more to others. And for them, the foreigner that want to come, I would positions like Naida or me as a source of reliable information if they want to go travel or go diving.
Okay.
So I want to provide them like all information that they cannot find in the internet. Something like that.
Now, what are the biggest challenge you think for promoting Indonesia for
Yes.
outside and as, I don't know, would you call it a top destination for diving?
A top destinations for diving?
Yeah.
That's a lot. Indonesia, we have hundreds, and some of them is well known already, like Alor, Raja Ampat, Labuan Bajo. Bali is like a place for tourism destinations. But we have Maratua. We have in Manado, we have Bunaken. Like that's a lot of places.
So what's the challenges and how do you promote those places to?
The challenges, let's say about arranging the trip, arranging the package.
Okay.
When people decide, oh, I want to go holiday, I want to go diving, so they prepare with the time.
Okay.
The challenge is to make sure at the local, we don't have any reschedule agenda.
What do you mean?
Flight,
Oh, okay.
ships, because if they delayed or they have rescheduled at the very last minute, it will change the trip plan. So the challenge is like to make the package, to coordinate with local and explaining with the customers, and also this is the natural trip. I mean, like you coming to the nature,
And
anything might happen.
now, on that point though, that's
Yeah.
interesting because like when we're talking about dealing with nature, we're
Yeah.
talking about season and bad weathers and just off peak periods. So, how you deal with that, and then how you keep, do you want to say profit or like keep going with the business?
Just praying. We cannot fight the climate. So, for example, like one day is very sunny day, very good, and then we still have the next day for diving, and then the next day cloudy, the ocean choppy. Oh my God, we cannot dive. We just can't.
So the weather outside, I mean, like the cloudy and stuff like that, that actually affect the
Oh, yeah.
condition of divers. I thought that, like it's gonna be different inside of the water, so it actually does.
Yes, it affects. Maybe we, well, depends. In some situation, we can change the location. Let's say this is the big area in Morotai, for example. We diving in this side. Oh, this side is not that good. So we try to contact to the other. We check if it's the other area it's good. Then we just changing the dive site.
Oh, okay.
But if the whole area,
Area is-
the current, wave, and everything is not that good, we just
You won't be
skip
able
the
to
dive.
do it. Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Now, earlier we mentioned about like involving the locals. So how do
Yeah.
you include locals' culture and tradition into a diving trip?
Again, I think it is gonna be easy if I giving example.
Yes.
If we go to Banda Naira,
Okay.
Banda Naira is something that is very heavy of the historical things. There's an old building there. the history about Indonesia, like a lot of things still you can find in there. So if I bringing them to Banda Neira, I not only bring them for diving, for a dive spot, but I bring them to doing land tour, seeing the fort, the old buildings, and then experiencing the local dishes.
Okay.
And also, if the area they have something for souvenirs, and my customers also can buy something in the local. So it brings economic benefits for the area that we are coming.
That's very nice. So it's not only about the diving, but also to help the local economies. I mean, it includes so many sectors, not just the diving itself, but like, again, hospitality, culinary, and all that stuff. Hanna, thank you so much for spending time with us here on Sea today. I hope it's gonna grow and like more and more people can enjoy the underwater of Indonesia while diving. Honestly, I might have to take one trip with you guys.
One trial.
We'll see about that. All right, that was our conversation on Indonesian diving industry for today Business Talk. In the meantime, don't forget to follow us on our socials. We are available on Instagram, X, and YouTube at Sea Today News. We're also available online at seatodaynews.com. Stay with us.